So first of all, we're going to go through how to assemble the gel apparatus. You need a stand. I'm making 2 gels, so 2 clamps and 2 sets of plates. You need a large plate and a small plate. They go into the clamp. Make sure they're nice and flat on the surface of the bench. Close the clamp and place it into the stand. Really push it into the spongy part at the bottom. Open up this clip and it holds it in place. Do the same with the second. And then I just check for leaks, so I fill them up with water. Just check at the bottom that no water is leaking out. And they seem fine, so I'll pour the water away. The gel consists of 2 layers. There's a resolving layer at the bottom and a stacking layer at the top. I make the 2 at the same time. The final ingredient is the TEMED, which polymerises the gel, so I just add that to the resolving gel to start with and pour that and let it set, and then add to the stacking gel later on. So 5 mils of Tris pH 8.8 for the resolving gel and 1.12 mils of Tris pH 6.8 for the stacking. I'll then add the SDS. So I have 10% SDS here. And I need 200 microlitres for the resolving and 100 microlitres for the stacking. And then the same for APS, 10% APS, 100 for the stacking and 200 for the resolving. Finally, we need to add the TEMED to polymerise the gel. So to prepare before I pour the gel, I want to mark the level where I want the gel to go to, just as a guide when I'm pouring it. So to do that, if I put the comb in and make a little mark about 1 centimetre below, I can then add the TEMED to the resolving gel give it a quick mix and then pour it as soon as I can. So I'm just quickly mixing it, and then I will pour it up until the level that I've marked. And then I will layer water on top. That will just remove any bubbles that are at the top and keep the surface. And we'll let that set. A good guide is when the remainder in the tube is set, you know that your gel's ready then. So now I'm going to add the 10 med to the stacking gel. I've poured the water off, and we'll then add the stacking gel and quickly add the cones. Quickly adding the cone. We'll leave that to set for 15 minutes or so. I'll now remove the cones, just gently run the tap. Take the stand out of the clamp, open it up and slide the plate out, and then I'll just manipulate the cone slowly out of the gel under the running water. So now we'll assemble these into the gel tank. Now I'll assemble the apparatus for running the samples. You need the small plate facing away from you and slot it in just behind these little grooves here. One gel goes on each side, and then lift these sides up to clamp them into position. Just check that the plates are pushed down fully. You may need to readjust. Place them in the gel tank. We have red and black, and red and black indicated here as well. So place them in the correct orientation. And to check that it's all sealed, I add SDS buffer in between the gels, and it should stay flat at the level of the surface. Now I'm going to load the protein samples onto the gel. First of all, I'm going to add the marker. And I just lean the tip onto the front of the glass and use that to guide me. And now I'll add the rest of the SDS buffer into the tank. Place the lid, red to red and black to black.